Community organising is largely what we know as community development, but at its heart it's always had the issue of analysing power, where power lies and where we can build power in order to get our voices heard or to hold accountable those people who are in power. Not to be antagonistic, not to fight with people, but to work in partnership with them, but also fully understand what their responsibilities are and ensure that those responsibilities are carried out and taken seriously. Tonight I'm running a session on fundraising, because the way in which groups can do the sorts of things that they're passionate about is to find money to do it, and it's not an easy thing for groups to do. There's also a social benefit in that it combats isolation and you make friends, and it can be very enjoyable.
From my point of view, as I see in this country, I came here just 6 years ago, and I think every day I learn new things, and being alone in your own community is not enough for you to communicate with other people. It's very valuable to gather women from different diversities, so they can gather and they can exchange information and they can learn from each other.
I mean, what I think is that bringing, it's all women together, because kind of women have the same views, they kind of have the same thinking together. You know what I mean? Like if you had men or teenagers, they have different views, but women, like older women, as you can see, most of them are old, so they have more experience in life, more practice. You can ask them. But okay, yeah, you can have teenagers, but they have different views. You'll have kind of the same level of thinking. You won't have wider thinking or anything.
Many of them will have the same issues in their families and in their communities, and it's only when you start talking about those issues to other women that you realise that if you can get together and work on them together, it's very much easier to do that.
When I was going through the security barriers in Birmingham airport, the security staff made me take off my jacket and reveal my arms and my body to the public passing by. I had male colleagues of this security officer looking at me, and I felt that I was being visually raped and that my human rights were taken away in those few minutes. And I felt from here down to here. And it was only from my networking since I came back that I realised this has happened to other people and that they've never complained about it. So definitely by talking to women and by networking together, we can all put our situations together to find what's going on here, because each individual case is like an individual case, but when you put them all together you can see it's happening to many people, and it's only by talking like this and complaining that the situation can be changed.
I think there's lots of mechanisms being set up for people in the community to have their voices heard, and some of them have worked quite well in some areas, but I don't think there's a single mechanism that will solve that problem, because people are at all sorts of different levels in community, and if you've not been involved in a small community group, then to have your voice heard at a policy level or a decision-making level is quite an intimidating thing to do. So there's a process that we need to go through, which is starting off in small groups, maybe meeting with another group, beginning to understand community, building our confidence before we can actually engage in those decision-making processes. And that takes time, but it also needs development work, and I think it's only just been recognised how long that development process takes, really.